Hello, guys. Welcome back to the Laker family. I'm going to be talking about the very, very entertaining game between the Lakers and the Pelicans last night. Man, it was a late night game, and I couldn't turn it off. I had to be to work the next morning very, very early, but it was just that entertaining to where you just couldn't take your eyes off the TV. That's how entertaining of a game it was. There was like um, just fireworks everywhere, all over the place. Big games from a number of players, and LeBron just he just went dumb. He went dumb last night versus the marquee matchup with him and Zion. Uh, this game had everything you wanted in it, and as I told y'all before, the Pelicans they are my second team in the league, second favorite team in the league now, behind the Lakers, and that was mainly due to the fact that we signed basically half our roster over there in the trade for Anthony Davis, a roster that I had to watch for the past 3 or 4 years grow and then just get shipped away. So that really led me to own like the Pelicans as my second team, and it's been bittersweet every time we play them this year, but very entertaining nonetheless. Uh, LeBron dropped 40 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. What else can you say about the man? It's I've never ever seen anything like this. Somebody capable of putting up these type of numbers at his age. Um, I think Kobe was the closest to it, but his body started to betray him with the Achilles injury and things of that nature. He just never could quite recover after his body started betraying him. But LeBron has been the Iron Man of the league since I've never seen before. To be able to still do this, and it's amazing. Every time I watch him play, he leaves me in awe. And the way he was scoring, he was still able to show off his athleticism at full display. He was flying through the air like a 20-year-old, and there was a play, I think Caruso stole the ball, gave him an assist on a fast break, and he jumped from so far. I thought that, well, he's going to lay that ball up. He's simply too far. But he just kept going, 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 and just hammered it home, and that just got me out of my seat. I was truly in awe. He had a couple more plays where they tried to stick Drew Holiday on him. I don't know what the Pelicans were thinking, but I know Drew Holiday is a very good, sturdy, stout defender. It's very hard to move him off his spot, even at his height. But he was still at a complete disadvantage when guarding LeBron. LeBron even spent off of him on one play and just completely just put Drew Holiday in the rim. I was like, poor Drew Holiday. He's trying, but he was still simply a mismatch. I don't know what Alvin Gentry was thinking with that matchup he tried, but it obviously didn't work out in their favor. And LeBron James took a full advantage of that. Um, Anthony Davis, I felt, had one of his struggling games. One of his, and he still put up 21, 14 rebounds, 6 blocks. That's nothing to sneeze at. But scoring wise, I felt he had he looked a bit shaky going up against Zion Williamson. And that's more of a testament to the defense of Zion Williams, I believe, than Anthony Davis purely just struggling. I felt Zion, unlike any other defender, had Anthony Davis thinking a little bit. He had him overthinking a little bit on his shot selection, and he couldn't really just bully Zion like he is able to do many others. He wasn't able to just kind of back him down and get to his sweet spot. So Zion had him guessing and kind of thinking a little bit there on his shot selection. And AD will have to adjust with the next time we do see the Pelicans, or if we happen to play this team in the playoffs, the first round. And I don't know, the past couple games, Anthony Davis seems like his strength is not there. He got pushed around, and he did get fouled, hacked a lot against Boston, but there were a lot of plays where he was getting pushed off his spot too as well. And he's not looking as physically imposing as he did the beginning of the season. So I don't know if it's something that's bothering him, something ailing him that he doesn't want to, discuss with the media right now. But the past 2 or 3 games, he hasn't looked physically dominant as he has early on in the season. So that's something to keep an eye on. And he kind of injured his elbow going up for a block on a fast break, chase down. So let's keep our fingers crossed and keep our prayers going for Anthony Davis and hope that it's nothing too serious. Bradley didn't have his best game yesterday, 0 points, but he was kind of due for a bad game because he had been playing so well. So JaVale McGee on the 13 minutes, not much of a presence, just 2 points. He did have 9 rebounds, but I felt like he got more pushed around versus Zion than Dwight Howard did. Dwight Howard at least showed Zion Williamson a man type of presence when he was in there. He was able to, let Zion Williamson know at times, hey, I know you got some size to you, but hey, I'm still here too. You have to feel me, just as well. So I felt Dwight Howard did better in that regard, even though, there were a couple of plays Zion Williamson still got the best of him, but there were some plays where Dwight Howard held his own and was knocking Zion Williamson off of his sweet spots. Danny Green had his better game, and he has been MIA for the past month or so, and I was very, very happy to see him finally come through with a good game. He played great defense. This is what we expect from Danny Green. Great defense and knock down your 3-point shots, timely 3-point shots. That's all we ask, nothing more, nothing less. And I felt he played tremendous last night. He was in a lineup where we went on a run, and he was the main focal point of that. So kudos to Green finally coming through. Marcus Morris made his debut. Well, Markieff Morris made his debut. He didn't get too many minutes, 15 minutes. His impact wasn't on the scoring aspect. I felt he showed a lot of grit on some defensive plays, and that's what we need from him. Just get out there, be that dog, give us that defensive like mentality. Kyle Kuzma had 9 points in 12 minutes. He only got 12 minutes. I don't understand that part. I felt like he played decent. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. He had 2 plays where he kind of forced some shots. One of them was he had to take a bailout shots because they were late in the clock. But there were 2 other plays where he took his man, and it's like he kind of takes too long to gather and make his decision. So by the time he gathers and makes his decision, the defender is either back in position to heavily contest his shot, and then he has to kind of throw up some prayer shot. And those are the type of plays that I feel like he needs to work on, because he has a great first step getting past his man. And when the second defender kind of reaches in for the ball when he's driving, he takes too long to gather that ball. So what he should focus on is a counter move. When the second defender kind of slows his drive down and he has to gather the ball, he needs to come inside the primary defender and come with a left hand or something instead of getting slowed down, and then this primary defender getting back in front of him, and he ends up throwing up a low quality shot. So things like that is IQ plays that he should work on in the future. But other than that, I felt like his aggressiveness was there, and he did make some key plays in this game. And his defense was a little bit better this game. So continue to strive to get better in those areas, Kuzma. Caldwell Pope, he had a hell of a game as well. 15 points, 2 steals. He was all over the place defensively, just wreaking havoc. I love that about KCP. He's very, very underrated on this team. Caruso as well had a very spark-like type of game. He sparked a run there where he just had the crowd into it. He had a great block on Lonzo Ball. Lonzo Ball tried to go in and dunk it or try to lay it up, and Caruso just sent Lonzo Ball back to the ground. And that ignited us, gave us a spark. He was getting the crowd into it, assisting on a couple of plays there, getting some and one layups. So Caruso was very, very big in this game, and it shows in the plus minus. He was a plus 20. So great job for your hustle and your energy and your effort, Caruso. Keep that up. Now to the Pelicans aspect of it, this is why I told y'all I felt like we gave up too much in that trade. And do y'all believe me now? The Pelicans were able to pretty much stay in this game. People were saying we gave up trash, basically, for Anthony Davis in that trade, and we ended up with a monumental win. But the Pelicans just proved now that it wasn't that monumental of a one-sided trade. It was not. I felt like the Pelicans were in the mercy seat for that trade, and because we didn't hype up Ingram enough, because we didn't appreciate Ingram enough, we had to end up giving up so much. I guarantee you, if we had appreciated Ingram while he was here the way Boston Celtics appreciated Tatum and was hyping him up, they were even overhyping him before he got recently this good. They were overhyping him to the point to where his value was up here. We were not hyping Ingram up so his value was here. Therefore, we had to give up so much in return in a package for Anthony Davis. If we had did the same thing Boston Celtics did with Tatum, we would have definitely had the Pelicans at our mercy, which they already were. But it was like almost like they were the ones holding the gun to our head because we were so desperate and had to have Davis that the Pelicans ended up having the gun to our head and holding us at ransom and getting whatever they wanted from us. When we was the one really had the upper hand, and we was the one supposed to have the gun in our hand to the Pelicans had nowhere to go because the Boston Celtics had backed out of it. They were not giving up Tatum, and everybody else was afraid to deal with the Pelicans because Anthony Davis wanted so badly to be with the Lakers. So we were the ones in the driver's seat, but we didn't act like that. And you see how well Ingram played. He gave you 34 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals. Lonzo Ball, very underrated. We had to give up Josh Hart, a very underrated key role player. We had to give up, what was it, 3 or 4 years of draft picks, all because we let the Pelicans hold the gun to our heads in the trade. So, yes, Anthony Davis is an otherworldly player, but I guarantee you we would have not have to give up that much if we, as fans, and even LeBron fans that came over and really didn't know what they were saying about, oh, keep Kuzma or just trade Ingram, get him out of here, he's trash, or whatever, get Lonzo out of here, he's trash. All of that contributed to us having to give up so much when we could have at least held on to maybe some draft picks to have wiggle room to bring in more help. That's why it was so tight for us during this trade deadline. We had no wiggle room, no draft picks, no nothing to try to swing some type of extra help for LeBron and Anthony Davis, because we were the ones acting as the hostages, basically, in that trade. So y'all gotta start hearing me out with this stuff, man. The Pelicans have a very, very bright future, and I kind of feel bad for Ingram now still, because that was my favorite player. He still is my guy, but he was my favorite Laker when he was there. But he didn't get any credit there while he was there, and he's still not getting credit now. The media is pushing the narrative now for Zion. Zion team. Zion's this. Zion's good and great, don't get me wrong, but the media is trying to still push Ingram into the abyss somewhere and just forget about him. And that's mainly due to because all of them wrote him off, as well as a lot of fans or LBJ fans. They wrote him off early. And now they are too embarrassed to acknowledge it. And that's why you don't really hear any Ingram hype right now. So I kind of feel bad for the kid, even though he's having this breakout All-Star year. So yeah, it was bittersweet for me on that aspect. But I'm always glad that for a Laker win, and I'm still hoping for a Pelicans eighth. They're trying to get that 8th seed. I'm hoping that they get that, because as y'all saw from last night, how entertaining that was. That will bring in so much views and everything, excitement for a first round playoff series like that. The Lakers versus the Pelicans. I would pay money to see that. That's how entertaining that I feel that would be. So I think I covered everything on that topic, man. And as always, I appreciate y'all for sticking by me, watching my channels. I love all the support that you guys give me, and that just makes me want to continue doing this. So if y'all haven't joined the Laker channel yet, please do so by sharing, and subscribing. And I'll see y'all for the next recap. Peace.